making it current. And then the conclusions would be, what do I do with it now? Where do I hang it? Who do I share it with?
Exactly, and you said that, right? When do I bring it out? When do I not? Will I ever be able to just put it on display forever?
Which has been the issue with this whole project from beginning to end.
Exactly.
Do I really want people to read my project? Do I really want it to be out there?
Exactly.
I keep thinking in my head, if Jackie asked me to put it on the website, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I'm still at the point where I question what I'm going to do with it, because I'm still worried about saying something, you know, about somebody and them not knowing that I've put it on the internet, and I worry about, you know, people reading it and what they'll think of me, and, you know.
And what else?
Like I see the value in it to people who don't know me. I see the value in it maybe for people who know me and I trust, but my fear is always what happens when the people I don't trust read it, right?
Okay, let's talk about that for a sec. What happens? This isn't an issue for me, too. I just talked about trust. What happens when the people who I don't trust read it?
It's the same as when you took your painting into the gallery and you were standing at the doorstep thinking, do I go in? Do I not go in? Do I give it to them? Do I not give it to them? It's the same thing, right? It's the feeling I always used to have in the studio, and I'm painting things and I'm thinking, do I put this one in the show? Do I not put this one in the show? I don't know, this one's kind of personal. Will they understand it, or will they just think it's a mess? You know.
So what's the issue there?
Trusting in yourself and in your own authentic self, as you say, and your own embodied knowledge, and just putting it out there and saying, here's what it is. What do you think?
I mean, you commented on my journey, Megan.
Yeah, well, your journey has been so wonderful for me to watch, right? It just seems to flow. So, I know it hasn't flown smoothly, but it just seems like it. You know, it's just beautiful to watch and to read. You know, I just enjoy it. And you have such a way of weaving together language, which I love, and philosophy, and you know, ideas about, you know, wisdom and joy and education and vulnerability and things like that. It's just nice to read, you know.
And I get that from you. I get that from you when you talk. That's why I wanted to have this Skype call. Because when you talk, Megan, look, you made me cry. When you talk from your heart, you said in that little piece, and I didn't want to stop you, but you know, if I were editing it online or whatever, I would say, why not? You said in one of the second or third line or whatever, you said you don't want it to be too overpowering, right? Didn't you say something like that? Your creative piece that you just wrote.
I just sent it to you.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? I said it would be multimedia, of course, because each medium has a wisdom and voice, and unique voice, beautiful in itself. Though, like a conductor and arranger, I would have to pick just a few to keep it from being overpowering.
Okay, so I would ask you, why can it not be overpowering?
Because my goal as an educator is to be that sort of guiding sort of example on the side. It's not to be the center of the attention. It's to be that sort of inspiring background music that just helps maintain the flow and it's to be a part of it, not to be the center of it. I don't know.
Okay, so I don't know if this means anything or not, but when I heard that, and when I think about, you know, watching you go through your journey, and it was really neat to look at somebody else's perspective of my journey, right?
I was wondering about that too, because I was like, well, is she going to think I'm on track here?
Oh, it was bang on. It was bang on, of course, because your intuitiveness is bang on, right? So I'm thinking, okay, but I held nothing back, Megan. I held nothing back. And part of that has come from, the tragedies and everything else. It's like, okay, what the hell have I got to lose, right? Throwing it all out there. So I know, not everybody is there. Not that it's a good place to be, but it's the place that I'm at, right? So I held nothing back. I didn't worry about overpowering or whatever. And as a result, like my last painting, my Love and Joy painting, I held nothing back. I just painted. And I didn't worry about what Daniel and Ashley would think. I didn't worry about whether was even thinking about including this in my project. I wasn't, right? And as it turns out, it has influenced my entire project, because that's what made me decide to do the exhibition, because of their reaction to it, right? So my point is that I'm trying to make, and this is the first time, I've tried to articulate it, is that by completely letting go, by completely trying to just be in this moment and be my true self, it actually created probably one of the best educational, influential moments in this whole journey, right? Because I let go of any inhibitions, I let go of any expectations, I let go of what people thought I should do, what the Research Ethics Board thought, what Brock thought, what Jackie thought, what Hillary thought, what Liz thought, what everybody thought. I just let it go and just said, okay, what do I want to do here? And I did it. And so by being true to myself, I've actually increased. So, by living my values of love and joy, I've actually increased love and joy. Right? Because now, I'm seeing it from you. I'm seeing it from my husband, from my children, from Jackie. Yeah. She just sent me an email, So
to be contagious.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not me. It's not that I at the center that's doing it. It's us. Yeah. It's that life-affirming energy. It's the I and the you, the Buber I and you thing. And even who cares, even about Buber? It doesn't matter. It's this connection, like I can feel it right now. Like I'm kind of tingly right now. And we're looking at each other on a computer monitor, through Skype and everything else, right? But that energy is there, and that connection is there. And it's almost like when you give into it, then it is unleashed, right? So that statement about not trying to overpower, that's worrying about other people. And I mean, I know we have to worry about the learners in our care. I get that, and I'm not going to go in on my first day of class and go blah, about my process, but. Yeah. But by being authentic with myself, by being true and honest with myself, and there was something else you said, but by doing that, I'm more able to do what it is I need to do in the classroom. I'm more able to be that calm voice because I'm not anxious. I know how to deal with the tensions. I know that the tensions will come and go, but by being my authentic self, I'm more capable of dealing with them, whatever those might be. EQAO, behavior issues, comments from peers, whatever. I'm more capable of dealing with it. When I came home from that horrible, horrible day that I had, I sat on my sofa, I looked up at my wall, and I saw love and joy. Okay, Liz, what are you going to do about this? Because this is going to be happening on a regular basis, right? What are you going to do? What do you want to do, Liz? I want to paint. Well, paint. Oh, I can't paint. I got to do laundry. I got to make beds. I got to get ready for company. I got to work on my chapter 3. Liz, you want to paint? Paint. And because then I was true to myself and I did what I needed to do, and it actually only took me a couple of hours, right? Usually paintings could take a couple of weeks, right? It took a couple of hours because I was being totally authentic. Blah, 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 blah.
No, I like listening.
To me, I'm getting a feeling that you're holding on to something. You're not quite ready to let it go. I'm not saying you need to redo your paper.
It's fun, because what you were describing, that whole process of trusting yourself and that feeling of calmness and strength and, is how I used to feel when I painted. Not so much it's how I used to feel when I taught pottery, when I taught weaving. And I have reference letters that talked about my quiet, calm way of just being there and in the moment with the kids and everything. And that whole trusting in the process, that's how I used to paint, right? I was never a person who did tons of preliminary sketches. I was the person that just started mapping things out, and this is why I always liked oil and encaustic, because you could sort of putter away with things and mold things, and then you could go back and change them, you could layer over them, you could add wax and texture and everything to them. And you didn't worry about the end yet. You just kept stepping back and looking at it, moving in and looking at it, and you just kept going, knowing that eventually it'll be at the place where I'm ready to just stop and say, okay, I feel good about this. I'm ready to show this to people. And I'm trying to get to that point with this paper.
Megan, you just described your teaching. The teacher that you want to be. You just described it.
Yeah. It's just getting there with this paper. It's still at that stage where I usually feel in the beginning of the painting, where I'm at my most stressed, where I have all these different ideas, and I'm trying to picture where it's going to go and envision it. And it's just hard to picture how it's going to get pieced together in a way that's going to work.
Okay, so what about...
And with paint, it's a matter of throwing it on. I can see it. It's all right there. With a paper, I forget from page to page what I've written, right? Because I have a really difficult time with visual memory. So, I'm in the moment on the page that I'm on, and then I'm in the moment on the next page that I'm on, but they don't always go together.
Oh, I totally get that. That's totally how I operate, too.
Yeah.
That's why I had to print off a hard copy and spread it all out.
I tried that, but I've printed off like 5 copies and gone through like a whole thing of paper, and now I'm out of paper. But it's I don't know. I think it'll just keep happening as I putter and go back and forth and up and down. Like, even this whole idea of the piece of artwork, which wasn't there until this, well, it started with the prologue, and then it ended with the epilogue, which that I called it the conclusion, but it made the epilogue. And next thing I noticed was it started to show up in my other chapters. I was rereading methodology, and I started talking about how I was weaving things together, and how, my narratives were going to be the main part of the project, but that I would be weaving in contrasting and complementing strands of other people's research within it to strengthen it and to complement and to, contrast with it. And so I think that if I just keep going, the artwork, the piece of art will make its way into
So that's your metaphor for your paper, though, right?
I think so.
And that, I think, will help you tie it all together. Just go through the process as if you were going through the process of creating that artwork. Would it help you to, sort of do another wall? I did one. I don't know if you can see it.
Another one? Yeah.
You can't really see it. It doesn't matter.
I can see it.
It's just stickies. I mean, it's